I think that what art really does is to keep moving within us, and there these great concentric rings are working outward. So our first reaction may not be our reaction tomorrow or the next day or at the end of our lives. So what we're going to be doing here today is just that first rough sketch.
What struck me most was the positioning and movement of the people, the actors across the stage. Homecoming's about reconnecting. The troops can't wait to get home and reconnect. Those who are at home waiting can't wait to reconnect, but they're not static objects. They're moving across time, and they've changed as a function of what they're exposed to. And you saw in this play, this opera, that when they came back, they were moving toward one another, but not connecting.
Just as Hercules kind of laid down on the bed, almost in agony, then the party broke out, and it's party time, and that's more along the lines of what I faced. When I came home, everybody was so excited and wanted to have those parties, and I wasn't ready for parties yet. People expect you to turn that off like a light switch, like, I'm done. You're never done because you've changed yourself for the rest of your life, and it takes time to learn how, with this new person you've become, with the identity of the military, with the identity of war, and with the identity now of a veteran, what that makes you and what to do with it.
I could see all the different things, that mental illness that was happening not only with Hercules, but with the wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't speak for veterans, but he had no voice. Everything he said, she didn't listen. So as many times as he spoke, as many times as veterans speak, no one really listens.
What motivates my work usually is a really simple thing. What is missing from this picture? If it's missing, we need to put it there. And what was missing from the picture of America was the voices of veterans. For me, these wars are the biggest things going on in our country, and we don't know how to talk about them. And so I wanted just to have a place where we could talk and where those things didn't have to be tucked away as people or as issues.
I wasn't able to go to war as bad as I wanted to go, especially after the Twin Towers, because my daughter was there. She did 3 tours in Iraq. She's back home now, and she needs me. She's in Texas, but she calls me all the time because she tells me that I'm the best therapist that she could have, and I understand that.
You can't do this to people. You can't change the psychological dimension of their lives so that they're able to do what they have to do in combat at war. And then set them off into a situation that is often horrendous, incredibly intense, bring them home and say, well, there you have it. Now guys, figure it out, or gals these days, figure it out. That's just an appalling bit of behavior.
You were right on point when you're talking about transition. For me, it took 9 years after I got home. The Vietnam War was one thing. Then it was the 9 years after that trying to get myself back together to feel what I call normal. But we didn't have this transition to come back into society coming out of Vietnam.
And one of the things that drew me to this panel was Peter and what he was trying to achieve by this opera, and that is to make a community forum to help more convert that stress experience to growth by talking as a community in a safe environment, reinstantiating kind of a notion of contingency and benevolence, something that's ripped away from individuals during war.
Seeing Peter's production here today, I now understand as never before Friedrich Nietzsche's remark that we have art so that we might not perish from the truth.